welcome back to another episode of Nope, Still Not Famous. This one is all about starting a band, and I am sorry if this is redundant because a lot of you probably already know how to start a band. It's not that hard. I'm just going to tell you about my experience with starting a band because for those of you who have never tried, this could help you. Yeah, so I'm just going to jump right in. I've always wanted to be a musician. Clearly, that is my goal in life. One of my earliest memories is putting my Barbie camcorder up in my bedroom, putting on Avril Lavigne's first CD, Let Go, putting my Burger King headset on, and just singing to the camera for hours. I played that CD again and again and again. I got guitar lessons very young, and I hated it. Actually, I don't know if I hated the guitar teacher or the actual lessons having to learn music theory, but I quit guitar, and I was like, you know what, that's not for me. I'm just gonna be a singer. But then when I was 16, I gave my old guitar to my little cousin in Rhode Island, and I was like, man, I picked it up and I really missed it. I could remember a couple of chords and I thought, like, I should pick this back up again. And pretty much after that I was self-taught. I did take a few lessons from my friend Andrew, who Dear Andrew is written about, if you guys haven't heard that song yet. So when I was a junior in high school in 2012, I decided that I was going to make a band for real. That's what I wanted to do. I wasn't very active on Facebook. Maybe Facebook wasn't as big of a thing as it is now, because if I posted now, hey everyone, I'm looking for a guitarist, I'm sure I would get comments from the friends I had on Facebook, or people would tag their friends in my post. But back then it wasn't that easy. I didn't really know where to start. I put an ad on Craigslist, and Craigslist is a lot of the times very sketchy. And people, when I tell them that I found my band on Craigslist, they're like, really? Like, you were 16 years old posting about, hey, let's make a band together? But I did, and the very first response I got was from a guy named Cody. He is still one of my very best friends. We've been friends now for over 8 years, and he is amazing. We've written so many songs together. We've played hundreds of shows. So Cody had just moved from Alaska, and he was in a band out there. He was a couple years older than me, I think like 3 years older, and he answered my Craigslist because he had no friends yet. He hadn't even started a job, and he came to my house, and my mom was like, whoa, I don't know this guy. He could be not who he says he is, so I'm gonna be here at the house when he shows up. We played a couple songs together. We played some covers. I can't remember what ones, but we video tipped ourselves. We had a great practice, and everything went from there. Hey best friend, how are you doing? You just crossed my path, now my whole day is ruined. Your smile was so fake, the things you take from me one too many, won't reciprocate any. Me and Cody played together for a couple weeks, and then he got a job at Burger King on Grand Island in New York. He found a drummer. I didn't know this guy Sean, but I said, yeah, okay, let's jam out with him. And my mom had to drive me over the bridge, which was a big deal, and I was too scared to drive, and she didn't like highways. We pull up to this house, this building in shambles, and this guy comes out with like tattoos and a mohawk, and he's like also 21, and my mom's like, whoa, like, Cody, is she okay here? And we had a great first practice. I'm not even sure what we played. I think I had the Sappy song in the works, so we might have played that a little bit. Sean became a permanent member at the beginning. We decided to name the band Toys in the Attic because we were playing in Sean's attic with our toys. I wanted to do something more pop punk, like The Second Story, something like, ooh, cool, what does it mean? But we decided that Toys in the Attic would be good for the start, and we actually signed up for my high school battle of the bands called Westock, and we played with this 30-something-year-old bassist that we also found on Craigslist. So it's like, I'm a high school junior playing, then there's my two 21-year-old bandmates, and then there's this like 30-something-year-old guy who's just walking around the stage playing Avril Lavigne. Two original songs back then, Best Friend and Sappy Song, and they're on the first album. If you want to hear it, definitely follow the YouTube links below to my channel, Avid. We changed the name. But anyways, we were Toys in the Attic, played Westock, we won 3rd place, and it was like the best day of my life. I was like, this is amazing. Like, people knew the covers we played. They're gonna love us. We're gonna go places. This is gonna be amazing. We did lose that guy, Brandon, the 30-year-old bassist, but we did get a new one, Devin. We liked Devin a lot. He stayed with us for a little bit, and we played our very first show at a real venue that October. That venue closed down since a lot of the venues that we played in Buffalo have closed down. So that's how the band originally got started, from a dream I had and Craigslist, the very sketchy website. I know Craigslist is like Gumtree in the UK, and I'm sure every country has a different form of it. There's so many easier ways to make a band nowadays, especially through Facebook and social media, but like I said, all I had was Craigslist. And I wanted to talk to you about how I started the band now, because I'm going to have later videos of going solo versus being in a band, and being in an original band versus being in a cover band. There's so many ways to be a musician and perform, but I thought this was a good base to start off on, because you can't do anything until you get yourself out there, until you get like-minded people to join you and try to learn music with you. So I may be getting this wrong, but I think at the moment we have gone through 3 drummers, 5 bassists, and 3 lead guitarists. I am the only original member of the band that I created, which is why it's kind of dissolved in the last couple of years, because it's really hard to keep the name and the image and the logo and colors when no one else started it out with you. We changed our name to Avid. A couple of videos back I talked about our image and how we created our logo, our image, our colors, everything, and we just took off. We played a lot. I know I was in high school and then I was in college during the band, but we had weekly practices, photo shoots, music videos, posting on YouTube. We had weekend shows all the time. We were so big at the moment. We could get 75 people to come to a concert. We played a bigger battle of the bands where there were like different tournaments, and we won first place on the first round. We were big. We were playing really big venues, getting a lot of people to come, selling a lot of merch. People knew our words. It's an amazing feeling to be not playing a cover, to be playing an original, and the entire audience is singing your lyrics. So the way that I've always written songs is I write the rhythm and the vocals, and I come to band practice and I say, here's a song, let's make our own parts. That is when things change. So Sappy's song, the very original version, wasn't the way that it is on the CD. My drummer at the time, Sean, said we should make a little interlude thing, a little build up, and I loved it because I write the songs for the most part, but we can do whatever we want. I take criticism very well, and I want them to be all of our songs because I want everyone to have a part and to really enjoy what they're doing. That is why with all these revolving members of Avid, it was really hard, because at the beginning it was, hey, join our band, we're gonna start making an album, and people wanted in. But then once the album was created and we lost members, it was like, hey, do you want to join our band? We already have an album, you have to listen to these songs and learn them, and then we'll create more. And it just got harder as we lost people. And we lost people in many different ways. Some quit because it wasn't their style. When I was on Craigslist the very first time, all I saw were metal bassists and drummers, and I'm very pop punk and I wouldn't fit in with metal. So it was really hard to find members who not only liked your music, it was their style too. Some were metal, but they wanted to just help us out. They wanted to jam, they wanted to see if like we could all mesh, and sometimes it just didn't work, so then they would leave. So then we had to find new band members, and we just trial and error. We went through so many. Overall, I think we went through 19 band members. I'm the only original member of Avid, and I've played with 19 other people, which is why when I put all the pictures up, it's really funny to see all the changing people. So at that point, I think we just kind of dissolved. It was becoming work. It wasn't fun anymore. We weren't making music together. We just kept finding new members and having them learn the album. And once they finally learned the album, they usually left, or it didn't work out, or just something else happened where we just lost the creativity, we lost the spark of being a band. And that's kind of when I decided to go solo, because it was easier. And that was a heartbreaking conversation with Rich, because it meant that I wasn't as focused on the band anymore. Being solo for me was a lot easier, and that's why I'm going to make a whole other video about going solo versus being in a band, and you get to see the pros and cons of both. I'm so happy that I started a band, because if that didn't happen in 2012, I wouldn't be here now. If I was too scared to start a band, to get in front of people, I wouldn't be sitting here making a vlog about the trial and errors of starting a band. It's been a lot. It's been 8 years of people breaking up the band, trying to get it back together. There have been times where it was so fun and I was so passionate about being with these 3 other people and making music and playing shows, and just devastated that it wasn't fun anymore and it felt more like a job and no one was having a good time. So what I've learned is that the most important part of being in a band is that you have to be on the same page. Are you all trying to make it big? Are you guys all willing to quit your jobs just to tour and try to get in the eyes of someone who can help you? Or are you just doing this for a hobby? Are you getting together every week just to have a few beers and to play some songs, and maybe you have a show every couple of weeks and you earn a little bit of money? Because when that one person isn't on the same page anymore, it all falls apart. Because then what's the point, you know? You have to also be friends. And if someone were to sign me today and say, we're gonna pick your bandmates for you, I would be okay with that because they are there for the job. They are not meant to be my friend first. I'm sure that the friendship would come over time, but that's not what they're there to do. But when you're sitting on Craigslist or Facebook and you're putting out messages to find band members who want to play the same music, you're looking for a connection. You're looking to be more than just bandmates, because it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of time in the beginning, and you have no idea if it's ever going to lead to something good. I hope you guys liked this video. Like I said, a lot of you have probably already played with a band or just jammed out with your friends. It's not hard to find musicians, but what is hard is to make it famous as a band, because like I said, you have to all want the same thing. You all have to be supportive, contribute the same amount of money, sell the same amount of tickets, promote it as much as you can on social media. If one person is doing the work of 4 people, that's not fair, and it's going to create animosity. There's just so many working parts to having a band, and the younger you start, I think the better your chances are. So if I were to start a brand new band right now, having no affiliation with Avid, maybe it could work, but then I'd have to find people who are also in their mid-20s, maybe mid-30s, and a lot of people are going to have a career or a family. It just gets harder the older you get. If I can give you guys one piece of advice that's most important, make sure that it's fun. It doesn't have to be a chore to come to practice. Jamming with musicians is amazing, whether it's a cover band or an original band. Just having fun. Music should be fun. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you learned something, even if you're just starting off. Please comment below, because I've gone through a lot. I've gone through 19 band members where people fell in love with me, I fell in love with them, they left, someone didn't want to be famous, someone's girlfriend hated me. Maybe I can help you out, so please comment below what you need to know, and I will do my best. Like this video, share it with all your friends, subscribe if you already don't, hit the bell for my YouTube channel because I post videos every single Friday/Saturday. That's it for this video. Have a good weekend, guys.
This love, it isn't perfect.